All right. So welcome. Welcome to day 3 of Renaissance, the 3-day alignment experience. I'm Hillary. I am a visionary, creative business mentor and spiritual guide. I am really excited to take you through the 5 wealth codes today that will help you to unlock more abundance, prosperity, joy, love, peace, freedom, and inspiration in your business. And I have a little picture of little me here where I'm just kind of like, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm just kind of splashing in the pool, super happy, super joyful. Don't have a lot of things, right? I'm a kid, so I'm not concerned with all of the material wealth, even though by really tuning into our joy and activating these wealth codes within us, we will activate material and physical wealth here in the world. And I'm super excited to share how my program, Renaissance, and my other program, my spiritual business container, Visionary Creativity, really allow you to do that. It really allows you to tune in and to create whatever you desire to create here in the world. And so today, I'm excited to take you through each and every wealth code. And I've got a little presentation prepared that I can share with you that will walk you through each and every one of these. And so if you can see this, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up here on my screen. But Renaissance is designed to allow you to really tune in to these different codes as you align with your higher self, tune into your creative essence, and I'm going to be sharing the 5 codes to guide you on your path here today. And so, inside of this workshop, I want to first welcome you. I want to invite you to get really, really present. And if you did the little presence activation with Prudence right before this, then you're already tuned in and dropped into the heart space, which is our most powerful manifestation tool. It is a magnet to manifest our dreams and our desires. And in this workshop, you're going to align with your higher self. So like that little baby picture that I shared of you was really me, little me in the water, which was my favorite place to be as a kid, living my best life. You're going to unlock more flow and you're going to use these abundance codes that I'm sharing with you. Now, if you hear me use the words wealth codes and abundance codes, I'm always talking in my coaching about creative abundance. And our creativity, if you've been following along this 3-day alignment experience, our creativity is really one of our superpowers. And I'm going to talk more about these codes and these superpowers here in just a minute. I even have a candle that I created. So if you want to light a candle, this is called creativity. That it's a candle infused with Reiki. It has Palo Santo, it has crystals in it, a wooden wick. And this was one of the products that I used to sell when I was selling a lot of product-based things in my business and not services. And so I want to invite you to light a candle, to grab a cup of tea, to if you'd like to light some incense, or if you have a little bit of like an aura spray, I want to invite you to just use that and just take a moment for this masterclass and get really, really present. And this is what we do inside of all of my different coaching experiences and retreats and containers. We um, we combine the strategy with the I'm just laughing because I've got somebody jumping in right now. And I'm trying to, deliver this and keep an eye on the waiting room. So we combine the strategy with the alignment and the soul purpose, right? To really, truly activate and fulfill our magic and our dreams in our life and in our business. And so I'm Hillary Elhan. I am a business mentor, a soul coach, a visionary, an artist, an intuitive, a channel, and I have helped thousands of people reconnect with their creativity, their essence, and also rediscover and unleash their magic out into the world. So you see me, I'm over there. I am in Italy. I'm giving a little twirl. And so on retreat. So, really thinking about your magic and what will make you um, feel really, really aligned and abundant out in the world. And so, I want to invite you into this experience to get really focused, to get really, really grounded. And if you've got a journal on you, so this is my manifestation journal and it is a 90-day experience. And if you don't have this journal, you might have downloaded the workbook. I've seen several of you have already downloaded the manifestation workbook, which is wonderful. And it gives you, you just need a space to write where you can write out your where you're at right now at the very, very beginning of this training, and then where you're going to be going toward the end of this training. And so I just said I've had a couple of people hopping in and out of the Zoom room. And so if you're in, just feel free to get really present, grab your journal, and I'm just kicking off this 1 hour soul retreat. And so some of you, many of you know me already. I'm Hillary, and I'm a business mentor, a soul coach, and a visionary artist and an intuitive guide. So I'm excited to share these 5 wealth codes with you today. They're extremely powerful. And after helping thousands of people reconnect with their creative essence, I love to help other visionary women become known for what it is that they do and what it is that they share with the world. These are some of the brands that I have had the pleasure of working with. Jenny Kane, Airbnb, Molten Brown was one of my very first brands that I did a corporate collaboration with. Vince, Twilio, which is like a Google. It's a cloud software company. I've been featured in the Wall Street Journal magazine for my work, as well as Sovereign magazine, which is one of my favorite inspirational magazines for coaching journeys and for entrepreneurs. And I'm also excited to share that something that I've seen over and over again after working with hundreds of spiritual entrepreneurs is that creatives, light workers, healers, and guides, if you want to transform your life and your business, there are 2 things that are incredibly important. The first one is that you elevate your existing vision. So if you really want to experience like quantum leaps, hi Christina, you want to experience changes, it's so nice to see you. If you want to experience just your wildest manifestations coming through, this is the deep work that I've been doing the past 2 months in my own life and business and with my private clients. But if you want to experience a quantum leap in where you're at now, working harder and pushing harder isn't going to get you there. I know because I was sick for the past 3 weeks. Our family had a cold that went on and on and on and on. And what really helped the opportunities and the prosperity and the wealth and the abundance to continue to flow, even while my family was sick for 3 weeks. And before that in LA, we had the fires going on for 3 weeks. So we've really had a lot going on the past 2 months. What really helped us to stay in our bliss and our joy and our prosperity are these two things that I'm going to share with you that you have to have this shift to have the kind of transformation that you really truly desire in your life and in your business. So an elevated vision is number one. And number two is an elevated identity. So you go in and you do the identity work. You remember who you were as a little child, super joyful, splashing around in the water, having fun, free, all of those things. And so what I'm going to be sharing with you today are the wealth codes, but my upcoming program is called Visionary Creativity. That is for the women who are artists, light workers, healers, soulpreneurs. They know that they're ready to really elevate their vision and expand on an identity level, and worked with me really, really closely to manifest the prosperity and the opportunities that they would really like to see in the world. So let's take a minute. If you weren't here for Prudence's present activation, I want to get you really, really present. So I've got my sound bowl here. I know I have a sound healer that is part of this experience, but I've got my sound bowl. I'm going to go ahead and ask you to just take a deep breath in and into your heart space, coming back to the heart space. This is the sound bowl for the heart chakra. I'm going to hit it one more time for you. If you missed that, take one more deep breath in through your nose. So we do all of these kind of mystical, magical things to get really, really centered. And I want you to take a minute and I want you to type a few words into the chat. And I want you to describe like where you're at this moment in your business. And if you don't write it into the chat, just write it into your manifestation journal. Just take a minute, flip past the exercises and the meditations, and find your first morning, evening journaling page, and I want you to just write down where you're at in this moment in time. So, just by being fully present and by being here today, you have an opportunity to win a brand activation with Pamela, where she takes a look at your website and she gives you free tips on how to elevate and how to improve it. You're also entered to win a Monetize Your Magic or an Awaken Your Magic 20-minute call with me. Those are the calls that I give out to. These are the two pathways that I use to work with clients, either on monetization or going on a soul journey, a soul awakening journey. I know that some of the women who are going to be watching that have attended my Replenish retreat in San Diego are interested in going in a 10-week soul journey with me. And so you can win a 20-minute call for being part of this program. And everybody that's part of this program is entered to win one or both of those two things. So I want to go ahead and share that with you. Just take a moment in this soul retreat and write a few words where you're at this moment. Write that into your journal now. And I'm going to go ahead and start to go through the different wealth codes that I'm super excited to share with you here today. So the first wealth code that I shared, and I have a little video on this on day one, is alignment and coherence. And alignment is truly the foundation of everything. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are in harmony with your highest self, everything flows. And so today, this is just an invitation to step back into alignment, to step into greater coherence in your life and in your business. And coherence means that the outer world and the inner world are truly in sync. And so you're not pushing, you're not forcing, you're not hustling, but you're magnetically attracting and you're allowing all of these incredible opportunities to flow into you. I took a peek. So we had an interview with Prudence and Pam about an hour ago, and I hopped off to get my tea in between, and I took a peek at my inbox. And just while I was getting my tea, I had someone book an alignment call, a retreat alignment call with me. And so when you're not really hustling, but you're just holding things, the key is to just hold your wishes very lightly and very loosely, then everything will continue to flow to you and the manifestations will continue to flow and drop into you. So, coherence is when the inner world and the outer world are in sync. And one of the biggest struggles that I see with creative women and for soulpreneurs is they're wanting to create things in the outer world, but their inner world needs an elevation or an upgrade. And it's totally normal for that to happen because we might have all of these. I mean, we all have all of these different demands, right? From running a business to leading a family, or all of the different external things that you might have going on with you, right? And so we have to do the internal upgrades first. And so we can't just come at things from strategy, 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 because what tends to happen when we're only focused on the strategy, and I've been in masterminds that only focus on the strategy, and what happens is you don't see the results because you're not in coherence with the body, mind, and spirit. And you're not able to really attract those things in magnetically because you're so focused on, hitting the number that you've set, or dialing into some strategy that may or may not be aligned. So when we really come back into alignment, so for each one of these wealth codes, I'm going to give you a journaling prompt so that it'll take you a little bit deeper in this soul retreat into what you want to create and get you into bigger alignment. So I always, always, always offer master classes that give you a value and give you a transformation in your business instantly. So instead of working against yourself, alignment puts you into universal flow. This is me meditating in Tuscany, leading a meditation in the Italian countryside. And I have an Italy retreat coming up in October. So I haven't officially announced that to everybody yet, but I have some women who are already jumping in. And so if you know that you want to go to Italy in October, then feel free to send me a DM. So today I invite you to tune in and check in with yourself. Where are you fully, fully aligned? So the alignment prompt that I have for you today is actually two parts. So the first part is, where in life or business do you feel the most aligned? So what's the most aligned for you right now? And then the second part of that is, where do you feel resistance or disconnect? So where do you feel resistance, or where do you feel disconnect? And what is that resistance or disconnect here to show you? So what is it really here to show you? Take a minute, if you'd like, close your eyes and just tune into that. So like I said, I'm a visionary artist, business mentor, and spiritual guide. Just take a minute and really tune in to what the disconnect is here to teach you. And then I'm going to go ahead and share with you now the second wealth code, which we went into yesterday. If you're already inside the school classroom, you can access a visionary creativity meditation to help you step more into your own vision and creativity. And so this is what I know after being in online business for over a decade now, that you can apply your creativity, your creative genius, and your out of the box thinking to create out of this world results in your life and in your business. And so if you're not on a monetization path, but you're more awakening your creativity, which a lot of my clients are, then I'm going to invite you into really thinking about, what is the vision that you've been holding back on because it feels too big. So what is like that wild, abundant vision that you've been holding back on because it feels too big? So the problem is that sometimes we shrink our vision to fit into what feels safe or realistic, but true visionary creativity asks, what if? It invites us to dream beyond our current evidence and the current circumstances that the universe is showing us, to step into and start to play in the realm of possibility. What if Google called me and asked me to do a workshop, right? That happened. But what if I went on, a Goop cruise and, coached, different people on that cruise? That used to be one of my dreams. So that just dropped in. So what if? It invites us to ask the question, what if? And when we apply, I love that we have two artists in the room right now, a photographer and an architect. This is like so perfect. So what if I applied my visionary creativity to my life and to my business. What creative solutions would I come up with? And potentially it's something that has never been done before. And oftentimes, this is the case with the visionary leaders and the trailblazers and the female leaders that I work with because they've never seen it done before, or maybe only a few people are doing it. So the idea seems too crazy, too out there, too outlandish. So your imagination, this is where we really tune into the imagination. Your imagination can create the greatest wealth. So today I invite you to stretch it. Instead of asking what's practical, what have I seen done before, I want you to ask yourself the journal question, what would be wildly exciting if it happened? And what feels expansive and stretchy and bold. So when we start to really stretch ourselves, when our stomach feels a little bit queasy, it's like we're like so excited to try something. It's so thrilling. That's where we really start to transform our lives, and we start to get different results than what we've seen already, than the results that we've already created. So give me a little thumbs up or a little heart if this is resonating. I'm just going to take a sip of my chamomile tea. I've already had my caffeine for the day. Yay! I love that it's resonating and that it's landing. So this brings me to wealth code number 3. Wealth code number 3 is all about your powerful presence. And if you missed the interview with Prudence and Pam, the very beginning, Prudence, who's right here in the picture, hugging in the white shirt, hugging Lori, um, if you missed that, Prudence gave the most incredible presence activation. It literally sent me into bliss for 10 minutes. So go into the school classroom later and make sure that you access that. Okay. So, really going into your heart space, into the power of your presence, and opening a portal to opportunities with your magnetic presence. So, the heart is a magnet. I teach this over and over again in my containers, but our mind is not a magnet. What our mind wants is not the magnet. Our heart is the magnet. So we need to go into our feeling space. So I want to start selling, some of my paintings for 10K. I need to go, this is just an example, by the way. I need to go into the heart space to call in those clients and those opportunities. Okay. So presence and magnetism are intertwined. So I want you, if you have a tea, if you have a cup of water, I got this little gift. I'm going over to a friend's house today and I got her this special little tea that's rosebuds. It's like rose petals. It's a blooming tea. And so you put like 4 or 5 rose petals into the tea, you pour hot water in, and the roses bloom in your tea. Okay. So if you have anything rose scented at home, roses are like the ultimate heart opener. You can smell rose, you can drink rose in, and you can go into your heart space and really feel into the abundance of the rose code to what you want to manifest and what you want to create. So the most captivating people aren't the loudest. They're certainly not the loudest as we see on television and in the political arena. The most captivating people are not the loudest or the most polished. They're the ones who are fully present, who are just like bringing their presence to life and using that presence as a portal. And in our interview earlier, this is for the soulpreneurs, we talked about how your website is a portal. We talked with Pam, how she uses and layers these gorgeous visuals into a website to create an online portal where people can come into your world. And that itself is super powerful. Having that physical website out in the world so that people can find you and you can really elevate. And if you're like me, like you might have had a few websites before because you've been in the online space for a really long time. You might not need a whole new website. You might need to just go into your website with Pam and have an audit and play and test and tweak things. This is what happened, by the way, before the week before, actually like 3 days before I landed a workshop with Google. I literally just had gone onto my website and I had tweaked and played with my workshops and corporate experiences page for about 20 minutes. And about 3 days later, in my inbox was an opportunity from Google asking me to create a workshop for a group of their Googlers is the name for them. So your website is your online presence, and that is also a portal. So I teach the art of spiritual business. I'm not just a spiritual guide. I'm not just a business strategist. I teach you how to bring in these powerful spiritual codes that will truly actually transform your life and in your business, whether you choose to go on an awakening journey with me, which is non-business related, or it can still be actually, or a monetization pathway with me. Those are the two portals and the way that we work together, which brings me to wealth code number 4. Super important is clarity. Now, the reason that I've got to talk about clarity is because if we don't have clarity about who we are, we don't have clarity about our next level identity, we don't have clarity about what we want to create. And trust me, I've been there. There's like so many times in my online journey that I felt stuck, that I felt like I don't know what to do next. We cannot really move on until we have clarity. But this relates to the next one. So I'm going to have to tie it back with the next wealth code in just a minute, the 5th code. So clarity, when we have clarity, it's the difference between feeling stuck and feeling unstoppable. And most people don't lack talent or potential. They actually lack the clarity to know where they would like to go and what they would like to create. And what happens is when you have the clarity, then the opportunities become obvious. So when I start working with my clients, like we set clear intentions and clear goals about what we would like to create over our 3-month journeys together, what we create together. And a good example of this is at the beginning of the year, I declared that I wanted to start working with a new gallery, and then that opportunity dropped in within about 1 week. So I just signed with a new gallery on the West Side in Brentwood in Los Angeles on Montana, and I'm super, super excited about it. Yay. But had I not had that clarity that that's what I wanted to create, then the opportunity, likely when it came along, I might not have even had the awareness that this is a new opportunity coming along. That's one of my super conscious manifestations that I really wanted to create. And so the clarity gives us the power to decide. And decision is part of this wealth code. From the moment that we decide that we want to do something, we set the ball in motion. We set a chain reaction almost to create what we truly, truly, truly would like to create and desire to create. And sometimes that clarity comes from, sitting in meditation. And sometimes that clarity comes from the 5th wealth code that I'm about to reveal. And so I invite you to really clear the noise. I'm going to give you a journaling prompt for this wealth code as well. So, what is one, and I think that this one is really, really powerful. But what is one decision that you have been avoiding that deep, deep down you already know the answer to? So, what is one decision that you've been avoiding that deep, deep down you already know the answer to? So, I can give an example for me. I love, love, love coaching artists. I love helping artists make money. I love helping artists hit 5K months, help artists make 10K months. But over the past 7 years, I've been on a spiritual and shamanic journey. And I knew that I really wanted to include all of this cool abundance coaching, wealth code coaching, manifestation, shamanic laws in my coaching, but I avoided it because I really don't see a lot of people out there doing it other than one of my coaches who is a wealth shaman. So I didn't have much physical evidence in the world that I could not only just teach business marketing to artists, but I could also teach spiritual entrepreneurs, which I have been doing for the past 3 years, spiritual entrepreneurs how to truly grow and transform their businesses using these identity codes, these wealth codes, and really helping them to activate the vision. And so if you are a visionary, oftentimes our visions come down through the crown chakra, through the third eye, and we project them. We actually, I received this message from an intuitive guide. We project them out into the world, and those visions then become our physical reality. And so that is the kind of transformational work that we do inside of my containers. But until I decided I was going to show up and talk about all of those things that I'm super passionate about, right? Then I was actually in energetic hiding. And so if you have ever experienced this, maybe there's a different kind of decision that you need to make, something to let go of, something that's no longer a part of your path forward. So, what are you letting go of that no longer aligns with you? And go ahead and take just a minute and answer that in the journal as I get ready to reveal wealth code number 5. I'm going to do a little selenite clearing of everybody's chakras while you're answering that question, helping to get more clarity, um, decluttering the thoughts, removing any mental, and I'm also a Reiki healer, by the way. So anytime I do a clearing, that kind of automatically comes up. So I'm using a salt crystal right now to clear away any mental blockages, any blockages to abundance, any blockages to you accomplishing exactly what it is that you are here to accomplish today and throughout the rest of the week. Okay, amazing. So, the fifth wealth code that I'm going to be sharing today is inspired action. So once you've got the clarity, once you've made the decision, then you take the inspired action. And even if you don't have the clarity, you take the inspired action because you're going to get instant feedback from the world, from the universe. Oh, maybe I don't want to do this, or maybe this isn't the right direction, right? But if you take the action, then the universe can respond and you can start to play in the realm of possibility and co-creation. And I'm doing the little infinity symbol because that's what happens. You start to play in the realm of possibility when you take the action and you make the decision with the clarity that you got from the previous wealth code. Now, I always say dreaming is powerful, but action is what brings dreams into the physical reality, into the physical material world. So, audacity, I love that word. Audacity is about being bold enough to claim your vision, and inspired action is about moving with energy that feels expansive and not forced. And so you don't need to have it all figured out. Nobody does. I certainly don't. I certainly live with a very, we'll just call it a healthy amount of doubt, right? But you need to take that next aligned step. So, whatever that next step is, and when you do, momentum builds and doors start to open, and what once felt impossible becomes inevitable. So, today I invite you to ask yourself the question, where am I feeling are playing small? Where am I feeling small? That's very interesting. So if there's any place where you're cutting yourself off, where you're not allowing yourself to fully show up authentically, creatively as the visionary that you are, the universe responds to courage. It responds to bold actions. And here's the interesting thing about action. Whatever you decide to give, you get immediate feedback from the universe. So, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? And when you're deeply, deeply present, as we learned in code 3, the presence code, you become super magnetic. So, clients, opportunities, inspiration start to naturally flow to you because you're not chasing, you are embodying. And just to say one more thing about Prudence, who gave us our live embodiment activation, when you're fully in the body, then that ties back into alignment code number 1, the mind, body, spirit, coherence activation. When you're fully embodied, then you're in your presence and you feel the energy and the wisdom of your intuition in your body. And this is where your true power lies as a creative, as a spiritual guide, as a healer, or a mentor. And these are the kind of women who are coming into the visionary creativity program where we apply creativity and our vision as we elevate and we really dream up that next level of identity, which is really a deepening. And this is like my little baby picture. So it was when I was 1 years old because my mom wrote the little date on the back. This is me splashing in the pool. That's my favorite place to be. But we're deepening into our joy, our happiness, and our ultimately our essence. So whenever I say we're going to elevate into our next level, it's really a deepening of the roots, putting the roots down super, super deep into the earth, the roots of our authenticity and of who we're truly meant to be here on the planet. And just to wrap this up, I want to check in with you. I also just want to share that the results of weaving these 5 codes together are transformation and abundant overflow. And so when you start to weave all 5 codes together, like I did for the past 2 months when we had literally 3 weeks of fires here in Los Angeles, and then my whole family was sick with colds for 3 weeks, right? And I thought, how am I going to work? Like I can barely work. I can barely get anything done. And all of these cool opportunities just kept flowing and dropping in, right? And so when we weave these 5 codes together, the transformation that you will experience in your life and your business is completely powerful, and you will step into unlimited abundance and overflow of opportunities. And you can simply declare, like every month inside my programs, we do our declarations and we declare what we are going to create for the month. This is a little bit different than my membership. This is a high proximity container where you receive like one-on-one coaching with me. You receive small group coaching every week where everybody in the group shows up and we go through the coursework of visionary creativity. So I just want to make you aware of this new program. I already have several spiritual and creative artists, basically entrepreneurs. It's funny, I was going to say entrepreneurs inside the program. It's called Visionary Creativity, and it's a 3-month long journey. I want to make you aware of that. And that journey is to really envision, re-envision, reinvigorate your journey and your brand. The second part is an elevation journey. It's with myself and Pam, the brand marketing expert who's on earlier today, and we elevate your website. We go through, we can either do audits or we can create an entire new website for you, as she did for Prudence, where you receive like a course portal where you can host or hold all of your courses. This is a big this is like a big obstacle that I see a lot of people get stuck on, like where to have their courses, where to, they want to launch a website. It's taking like 3 months or it's taking like a year. I've had clients that have been stuck on their websites for 1 full year. And so just like to have that obstacle removed and have the option to either choose between just an audit slash up level or a full new website with Pam in a portal. I've had 5 of my clients get new websites with Pam. So, and they're all really, really amazing. And so this is what made me realize that this is something that everybody would really benefit from. So it's an alignment journey, it's an identity level shift to step into your prosperity and your abundance. And then you emerge as the new, beautiful, blooming flower that you are in your life and in your business. And so, my courses are extremely powerful. I want to come back to center now that you've been a part of this 1 hour soul retreat. And I love that I had a couple women attending live because then I didn't feel like I was just, talking out into the void, even though I'm okay with that too. And if you're doing this later, so right now we already have 22 women inside of this activation. If you're doing this later, I want to ask you this last question, which is, what is one insight or realization that you've had about abundance that you didn't have before this live training? And so, if anything came up during this training, anything you want to reach out to me about or talk about, I just want to invite you to go ahead and do that. And then let's see. Let's see, did I escape that? Okay. Great. I was able to minimize that a little bit so I can just kind of like be with you right here asking the questions. And so the second question that I have is, did you notice, and this is like a really, really important one to key into and to tune into, but did you notice any resistance or blocks that came up today that you were unaware of before now? Like, is there anything that I said in any of these wealth codes that made you aware of a block, something that you've been holding on to, I should say? And so I'm going to ask these questions. Nice. I'm going to ask these questions to the group marketing. Somebody says marketing. So inside of the Visionary Creativity Program, I teach marketing. I've been coaching on marketing for the past 5 to 10 years. I'm extremely, extremely good at organic marketing. And I know all of the different ways that all of the different marketing experts are teaching. But I teach it from a really different perspective. Okay. So the last thing that I would love is if you would love to, we're gonna just connect in a small group for just a minute. So just so that I get this part on the recording, if you're watching the recording and you want to reach out to me, you can book, and I'm going to drop the link below this video inside the school classroom. You can book a Monetize Your Magic call with me. If you're like, Hillary, I want to go on a soul journey for awakening, or I want more information about this visionary creativity program, or I want to come on one of your soul retreats, your awaken retreat, which is happening in Majorca, Spain. We actually only have one room to that left, and it will probably be gone really soon. Or the inspiration retreat, which is happening in October in Italy to help you reclaim your creative power. Just book in a call with me or send me a DM over on Facebook or on Instagram. I love to hear from different members of the community. The whole reason I got into this was to connect with other creative, visionary, and spiritual women and healers. And so please don't hesitate to reach out if this has inspired something in you.